It still takes an age to kick in.
Yeah, it tells me we're live. Good evening. Good evening. We'll just make sure the audio's okay.
And the picture.
Oh,
there you go. Yeah.
Picture all clear because I've got mine set up so I can't see the stream up
Picture
there. Otherwise,
good, and I heard you.
The lag between the two fucks me up. Well, good evening, people. All 4 or 5 of you, however many's there at the moment. Well, what a day. I presume everybody's been getting more or less the same weather with us as you get a clear blue sky, then you get rain, then you get some hail, then you get some snow, all accompanied with a high wind, and all within about an hour. And then it resets and repeats. Good evening, Marines.
The weather today has definitely been changeable.
Changeable, yeah, every fucking hour.
Every few minutes.
Sorry if I'm a bit out of it here, guys. Good evening, Moo. Still not the best. And I had to get up in the loft earlier and I had a bit of an angina fit and I'm still had some of my spray and it gives you like a bit of a head rush, but speeds your heart up. But yeah, the council been in all day, half a day. We had to have a new loft hatch fitted, a metal one, fire regs or something. And the bastard took me loft ladder down that was fixed up there because it couldn't fit with the metal frame. So I had to, and he left the ladder up there. So I had to go out to the garage, get my step ladders, get up into the loft, get the other bloody ladder down. Good evening, Stitch. Resist, little Stitch, if you're out there, guys.
Evening, Marines, Moo, Stitch.
So yeah, it was a right farce, and that brought on a bit of angina. But yeah, but anyway, today, oh dear. Well, I suppose the big story of the day is about these ambulances in London, the Jewish community owned ones. Now, a lot of people are saying, oh, they bought them privately, this, that, and the other. They did. They fundraisers and bought them. But they don't just get used for their community. Anybody that needs them, they'll be there. Personally, I don't care who's running these little ambulance, and many do. There's a lot of other people that do this with their private ambulances. But if it means there's one closer to you when you need one, I don't have a single problem with that whatsoever. But you know, you got Scan. Where the fuck did that come from? Khan fear-mongering. Now I'll get onto that little prick in a minute. But now we've got. Good evening, Karen. The National Health have said they'll be supplying these 5 new ones for them. Well, it was only 4 that got burnt for a start. But hey, if it's an extra ambulance that can be called in that local area, fair enough. But I have a problem with something that was said today. The police released a statement. Now, we know more or less there's only likely to be one, how shall I say it? One group that have openly attacked Jews. We've seen it before. We've seen mass shootings because of it. Yet the police statement today said they've arrested 2 people and they've released it as 2 British nationals. Now, I've never heard them put it that way before. I've never heard them use British nationals. Now, are they trying to spin on words with these two people they've arrested? Two guys, apparently in their 40s, so they're not youngsters according to them. But yeah, I've never heard them use that term before. And it set me thinking, to be honest. And I know that's not a good idea. Me and thinking doesn't always end well.
Can start a fire.
But can start a fire. It's started all sorts of things in the past. But are they trying to deflect things? So I thought I'd have a look. This is what I found. Now, if you kind of read between the lines there and take it as it's written, you don't have to be white to be a British national. You can be of any religion, any race, any denomination. So why would they specifically pick on the word national? Actually, if you read that, British citizen means exactly the same. Now, and the other thing is that they haven't considered is it doesn't matter whether you're white, brown, black, yellow, pink or fucking purple. You can still be radicalized by an ideology or a religion, as we've seen. You know, how many of these radicalized white clowns have gone out to these foreign wars and got themselves blown apart? There's been quite a few, and they used to be in the news, didn't they? You know, same happened in the Ukraine with the ones that went out there. So why would they in particular use that word? Probably done it themselves. I wouldn't have thought that move, to be honest, not with the Jewish people that I've known. But I have my question really on this is these ambulances that were paid for by the Jewish community. As I say, the NHS are replacing them with 5 brand new ones, free of charge. They're giving them to them. They're not just on loan anymore. But why do we need to? Now, I'm not being anti-Jewish, or anything like that. But as far as I understand it, all vehicles on our British roads are legally needed to be insured. Now, I'd have thought with some of the kit that these ambulances carry, including compressed gas, oxygen, I would have thought they would have had a very comprehensive insurance policy.
Well, they're passenger carrying as well. That's
Yeah,
the whole...
passenger carrying as well. You know, so why does somebody else need to pay for them? Surely they've got insurance. Oh, by all means, lend them some until they get the insurance sorted out.
By all means, get them through the NHS.
Yeah, well, they probably do anyway,
Yeah,
because
that's
it's,
what I mean.
you know, it's only one company makes them.
Yeah, and they're making for the NHS, so you put your order in that way.
Yeah, but you know,
and then the insurance goes to the NHS.
Why should we have to be the ones to pay?
Oh, they're only saying it to make them sound good.
Oh, I had a little fucking... Oh, there it is. Oh, it looks like I've got wind as well. Sorry, guys. But, yeah, no, Khan, you know, he's out there. Oh, the Muslims now are fucking terrified, apparently. They're frightened. Of what? Come on, you prick. Tell us what they're frightened of.
I thought his streets were safe.
Oh, yeah, he keeps saying London streets are safe. Doesn't matter who you are. But I don't see any Muslims getting beheaded. You don't see Muslim girls being raped and assaulted. Well, unless it's by father, brother, uncle, I suppose. To give them their full titles, all in one. But he said we must fight anti-Semitism. Absolutely. Of course we should. And we've never had to fucking do it before in this country. Or not on the scale that you're looking at now. It's mainly, as we know, the radicalised side of Islam that are likely to have caused these attacks. And they do a lot of the other ones as well. Again, he's denying the truth, just like he did with the grooming gangs. You remember, he denied that all the way through. And he's still denying it now. He still can't get to call it what it is. A horrible little bastard. But, I've got other questions that I'd love to stand toe-to-toe, face-to-face with Khan and ask him. Now, he's calling for the anti-Semitism to stop. Does anybody remember the Jewish gentleman that got arrested by the Met Police in London? Not once, but twice. Why? Because he was wearing his little skull cap and he openly looked Jewish in public. And there was people that felt threatened by that. I remember it. In fact, it jogged my memory because the video popped up in one of my feeds again today. Of him actually getting arrested and being told why he was getting arrested. Being Jewish could have caused breach of the peace. Yeah, he was a Jewish activist, admittedly. But he was doing nothing wrong. There was a protest there. But he was the other side of the road and all he was doing was walking. And the Met Police arrested him for being Jewish. So, Khan, what comes out your mouth is exactly the same as Starmer. Complete shit. And by the way, what's happened to the £16 billion you were given to build houses in London? Either show us the money or show us the houses. And I know damn well you can't show us the fucking houses.
All the money.
All the money. It was the same with the homeless thing, wasn't it? He was given, was it 3.5 million to help the homeless? When his underling, who's absolutely off her face, she just hasn't got a clue. 3.5 million given to help the homeless, and all they've done with it in a year is use that money to set up committees and what have you. None of it's gone towards the homeless, yet the money's run out. Setting up all their committees and shit and paying wages. Absolutely, Stitchy does. Absolutely. He gets away with everything. Or he has been. He's getting called out on a lot now. And if you watched him today in PMQs, he kind of lost the plot there for a minute. But nowhere near as bad as he did yesterday in front of the select committee. He got asked questions and he didn't have answers. And he tried to go off script. And as usual, once he does that, he makes an absolute total dick of himself. I mean, I literally thought he was going to cry at one point there through the PMQs. But it, you know, I mean, reform walking out. What's that Moose put there? People of all creeds are usually nice people. People in politics, all creeds. Well, this is what I've been saying, Moo. I've had friends and still have of people from all over the world, even Muslims. I used to work alongside a lot of them. I used to work alongside a lot of gay people from both sexes. Heather has got a friend who was trans, or is trans, full conversion, as it were. And I've never worried about any of them, any race, religion, creed, colour. But once they start attacking us, then you got to stand up. You got to speak out. You know.
If you're nice, you're nice. If you're
Yeah.
a cunt, you're a cunt. Doesn't matter what your religion, sexuality, colour. It's about who you are.
Yeah. I mean, you look at when I was at college, when I went back to college, when I was recuperating from the op, I was tutored by two Muslim lads. I'll call them lads because they're a lot younger than me. And I got on fucking brilliantly with them. I mean, they used my experiences and my results for the exams and tests and that there in their advertising for the company.
Because you were so brilliant.
Because I was so good. And I did keep in touch with them for a little while after it was all over and all finished. We used to text or email, you know. And they were great lads. I never had an issue with it. And when I see a lot of the Muslims now, there's a lot of them still that I don't have an issue with because they're not the radicalised ones. They just want to live a quiet life, earn money the same as we do. And that's what they do. Yes, they go and practice their own religion. What? There's no harm in that. You know, so do Roman Catholics, so do Christians, so do Sikhs. And they'd probably never even think of coming out and stabbing somebody or attacking somebody just because they're not their religion. You know, they're the good ones, yes, and I agree. Those ones have made lives in this country, as Sama says, and they have contributed to the country. Absolutely. But there's the ones that haven't.
Evening, Tony.
Good evening, Tony. You know, it's... And people like Albanese, what's his name over in Oz, the dickhead they got in charge over there. I mean, he's as bad as Starmer. You know, admittedly, he ordered the police to stop the mass praying in public, which is a big issue because it is a show of dominance, nothing else. And the Australian police went in, as we saw in videos, dragging them off the street and shit. And obviously, Muslims didn't like that. I suppose we should call them Muslims or Islamists. I know it's the same thing, but it splits the two up, doesn't it? But then he had the forethought of, let's go to a mosque. Let's talk to the Muslims. And you've probably all seen the videos of the results of that. He was absolutely terrified and more or less got thrown out the mosque. He was scared shitless. And he is now because of what happened. He knows he's going to lose some Muslim votes. Who else appeases wars and shit to stop losing them that we know, you know? But, fucking, the amount of notes I've got in front of me here is ridiculous. Yeah, not too bad, Tony. The ME's hit me. I mean, I had an angina attack earlier on today. Yeah, I did a bit too much because we've had the council round putting a new loft hatch in. So, and we got a load more work to go apparently, but I've asked to have a meeting with them about that because there's too much for me to do before they want to do it. I can't do it all on my own, so I've got to arrange a lot of it to be done. Like we're having a new loft insulation, new roof, a new insulation, which means I've got to get everything out of the loft, which I can't do until I've actually fixed the loft ladder to the loft hatch so I can get in and out to get the fucking stuff down. And they tend to give you a phone call, say, oh, we'll be there tomorrow to do this. And I'm like, no, it ain't going to fucking happen.
Well, the phone call this morning was, can we come on Friday?
Yeah. I'm like, fuck off. You know? We're two disabled fucking old people.
We didn't even know it was going to be done.
And then we had the gas guy come to do the gas check, the annual gas check. I said, well, we phoned you yesterday. We cancelled it because we got the council coming today to do some work indoors. And obviously he'd need access where they do. I said, so we've cancelled it and rearranged it for next Wednesday. Oh, it's not on my computer. I said, check with the fucking office then, mate. You know what I mean? Yeah, typical council, and of course Labour, Birmingham, and all this is being done because they're being forced to by the new government mandate on rental properties about maintenance. That's why they're shitting themselves. They announced the other day because they just had a council meeting. But apparently, because they agreed on next year's budget, just agreed on the budget, apparently now Birmingham Council's out of bankruptcy. Fucking unbelievable. And I believe they started the meeting with the call to prayer as well. That tells you everything you fucking need to know, doesn't it? Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what. If anybody gets these little things, pardon me, it's no one you can see that properly. It's the little spray for angina that you put under your tongue.
Tastes horrible.
Well, yeah, it tastes horrible and it kind of feels like it's burning. But boy, fuck, doesn't it give you a head rush?
Eventually.
No, I don't. No, I only had 2 sprays earlier, and that gave me a right head rush. I thought, ooh.
I'll have to try it again.
Well, I've got a spare canister in the other prescription. Oh, I must get you to do that.
There.
Yeah, I keep mine by the table.
And I've got one upstairs by the bed.
And it goes everywhere with me with that one as well.
Evening, Steve.
Evening, Stevie. But yeah, the Epstein crap, it continues, but it's getting more and more deeper into the powers that be in the government here, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, now we got the thing on the missing phone. What's his name? McSweeney's mobile. So, and apparently there's a lot of messages on it. On, I believe it's WhatsApp, most of them, between Starmer, him, Mandelson, etc. But how did it get stolen in what would possibly be one of the highest security level offices in the fucking country? You know?
And like I said, it wouldn't only be on his phone.
No, it wouldn't just be on his phone.
It's a group chat.
Well, if you wait until I finish from the notes. again.
I can't help even want to say
Oh,
the
I
same
know,
shit as
I
you.
know. But yeah, somebody managed to steal it apparently. Very sus to start with, isn't it? That was it under Starmer's orders that it mysteriously got spirited away? They've said the messages could be lost forever, and they're very damaging if they ever surfaced. Well, say that whoever stole it, go on, publish the fuckers. Go on,
Put them out there.
put it out there. Although I've seen a report where the Met Police have said they've recovered the phone and they publicised the messages, but I don't believe it. Not for a fucking minute, because they wouldn't do it.
They can't have found the phone because it was never stolen.
No, think about this. How many people out there that have been arrested where for WhatsApp messages, etc., they've deleted them, got rid of the phone. And as Heather rightly said there, if they were in a group, there would be the receiver of those messages. Even just one text message, one of the three had to receive it. So why aren't they seizing Starmer's phone and Mandelson's phone? Why is it just McSweeney's?
Oh, theirs are broken.
Again, they say they can't recover messages. Okay, so how does you get the messages and things people have put on WhatsApp, even if they've deleted it so it's not there anymore? They seem to manage to get those, don't they? If they want to prosecute people. We know WhatsApp. I mean, how many, God knows how many million Meta got fined today. They own WhatsApp. And we know they monitor calls. We know they monitor fucking messages. That we know they monitor groups. Good evening, Jen. And contrary to what they say, they probably do store them with a platform like that. Been destroyed already. There'd be a way, Tony. There'd be a way, mate. Like I say, if there's three of them, if the message is between them all, then they should be on the other two phones as well. If they manage to break that encrypted thing that was out there with the phones, didn't they, when they went after the drug dealers? But yeah, if they want it, they'd be on your doorstep, kicking the fucking door in at 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, it's literally because, as we know, Comrade Starmer wants to cover his lies up. Well, not just his, others as well. It seems to be a Labour policy, cover everything up, like they did with the grooming gangs. I mean, what does it tell you when the MP tasked with protecting kids denied and voted against the grooming gangs inquiry? We call them out for it, complain about it, and we just get called and branded far-right racists and troublemakers. Hate crime to me is an absolute load of bollocks. I mean, we see thousands, I say this every bloody week, thousands of these Islamists on the streets calling for deaths, beheadings and rapes and sex slaves, you know, kill the non-believer. And fuck all gets done, and we're just supposed to accept it. You know, we're supposed to accept that they can stand there and literally give you a death threat in front of a copper. We've seen that before, in front of hundreds of fucking coppers. Yeah, one English national waving his little English flag. Nope, you'll get arrested, even if you don't say a word. Oh, it's a hate crime. You're inciting hatred. Fucking ridiculous. You know, we've seen video after video, MPs, councillors standing there shouting, "We will take over your country. We are infiltrating your government. We are infiltrating your councils. We will seize power and then you will bow to Islam." They openly fucking say it. Now, to me, straight away, if you want to talk about a hate crime, as soon as they say we want to kill you for not believing in Islam, that is a fucking hate crime. And these assholes in power here do fuck all about it, and that really gets me. You know? And it's not just Starmer's the problem. It's the whole of Labour. Can you imagine if Starmer was in power back in the 1940s? You know, he'd have probably sent boats across the fucking channel to pick up the Germans and bring them over. Yeah, we'd all be speaking fucking German, wouldn't we?
Well, it would have taken him 3 months to get a committee together to decide whether or not they should make the Spitfires in Birmingham, Coventry, or Abingdon.
It just... Oh, yeah, we all know he lied his way into power. There's nothing we can do about that. But, oh, yeah, I've got some notes there on immigration that I'll get to in a bit. Oh, dear. What trouble am I going to get myself into tonight? They already have the powers of the country, otherwise the government would have stopped. Yeah, I can see that, Mo. Well, today, Jen's been quite exciting, and yesterday, because Starmer's made a complete dick of himself again. Yeah, I mean, another one of their harebrained ideas now is that big white elephant HS2, isn't it? The high-speed rail link that's billions over budget. But it might not be what they want. We know it's not going to go where they want now.
It's not going to go fast.
And it's not going to go as fast as they want because they're looking at reducing the speed of it to save energy. Because don't forget, it's all electric. I mean, to me, and I've always said, it's been a farce right from the fucking start. I mean, straight away, they were robbing people of their homes and livelihoods and farms to buy up the land at rock bottom prices. To make way for something that it's never, ever going to pay for itself. It will improve business between north and south, is what they were telling us. No, it isn't, because it costs virtually nothing to make a Zoom call, but it's probably going to cost you best part of 300 quid for a return to get between north and south, probably even more than that. So no, it's not going to pay for itself. It can't carry freight. So it's not going to take any of the lorries off the road. It's...
Could carry freight if it was going slower.
Eh?
Could carry freight if it was going slower.
Good evening, Baron.
My guess is, with the reason that they're making it go slower, is they said, what's the point of spending all this money on having new fast trains built when the slower ones are cheaper to run? We'll just tell them it's saving money.
Yeah, but they're full of fucking immigrants with knives now, aren't they? Let them have the old ones, we'll have the fucking new ones. Oh, I shouldn't say things like that.
Maybe
but it's true.
Thomas the Tank Engine on them.
It's absolutely fucking true. And Starmer wants everybody silenced, and I mean everybody. Speaking out against Labour, him. He doesn't like being shouted at. He doesn't like being called names. A bit like Albanese, apparently he put something in place in Australia now where it's illegal to call him out and call him names.
Oh, he does.
But yeah, we've everybody's been exposing the corruption, the fraud, the blatant lying, fear mongering. I won't go into this shit with this fucking new jab and outbreaks because it is just getting silly now. But they've lied over the economy. They've lied over everything, fudging the numbers. They control the media. Even the entities that are put in place to protect us, the so-called independents, like the police, Ofcom, Ofgen, Ofwat, the ONS is supposed to be publicising all the government figures and shit. Good evening, Graham. You're more than welcome for a flying visit, mate. You know that. But they've all been compromised. They all seem to be under government control. And I do mean the police as well. Even the ONS, they fudge the figures, they split the figures up, recategorise them. And it takes forever to find the true numbers by design, as far as I'm concerned. It was when people were doing it, but he's taking a different route to it now. Now, we've always found a lot of the information that we want and that we put out by freedom of information requests. Now, they did start to clamp down on some of the stuff that people were looking at by telling them it were costing them an extortionate amount to produce this information, which we all know is bullshit. It could be done 5 minutes at the press of a key. It doesn't take 600 fucking pound. And the one that's doing it is probably on basic living wage anyway. But under the Freedom of Information Act, you can ask for this information. But because it's exposed many of the lies, many of the fudge figures, inappropriate behaviour and lying by the police as well, it hasn't gone unnoticed. Now, Starmer is trying to find a way to put a total stop to freedom of information requests. Now, he's using the excuse at the moment. I don't know how far this is reaching, but a lot of places now, government connected, shall I say, will not be issuing freedom of information requests. And he's stating because it costs too much and it takes too long to do it, or some other bullshit excuses. Now, if he wants to shut it down all told, he's going to have to change the law, isn't he? But this is not surprising with, everything he's doing at the moment. He knows he shouldn't be trying to do it, so he's pushing it through by the back door, like the digital IDs. I mean, they're already trialing taking the internet and social media away from kids. I believe there's actually 300 parents that are involved in a trial where they're going to stop their kids watching social media and probably be forced to watch some state-produced channel for themselves. But anyway.
Is that the one where they've got different groups? One's not allowed anything, one's allowed in a couple of hours.
I
and
honestly,
there's another group that's unlimited.
All I've seen is they're doing this test. How they're doing it, what the criteria is, I have no idea. I dare say it will come out.
No, I heard that earlier, and that it's
get some spam.
Trying to get some mixed data. I'm good, thank you, Jen. Mixed data to see just how much it does affect kids before they try and take it off them.
Yeah, Graham, a lot of people are having issues like that now. I've always had it on here for some reason. Good evening, YouTube, and the lurkers in the background there. We know how they like to fuck around with the channel. Facebook's doing it as well at times now to me. You had to log out and log back in. Yeah. You're probably watching on a mobile as well, aren't you, Graham? So that'll make call my chest again. But, forced to watch DEI propaganda and Clockwork Orange. Yeah, I've only ever watched that once, and I'll be totally honest, I was off my head when I watched it. But it's quite obvious why it got banned at the time.
Read the book, never seen the film.
Yeah, it is very violent. Very, very violent.
Trouble is with the book, it's very descriptive.
Yeah. Well, injuries are easier to explain that way, aren't they? If you just see a hole, you don't know what it's done.
Yeah, it's rather graphic. I do remember that.
Yeah, and the film is the same, believe it or not, even for that era.
Unless they've cut some bits out.
I'm always naughty, Baron. It's just that the degree changes from day to day. I mean, today, Heather's had the pleasure of working with me in my office here. Because of the work going on, as you can see in the background here, there's a monitor and a laptop.
That's my work. That's my work office at the moment.
Basically, because the loft hatch is right outside her office door upstairs. We put one of the spare monitors we got. It's my old one actually. Down here. Then all she's got to do is bring a laptop in, plug the keyboard and everything in, and she's away working. And the other computer upstairs is just off because she's actually got two. She's got her own and she's got the works laptop. Yeah, it was very disturbing, Boyley. At some point, I must go back and watch it with a clear head.
Regularly, but I'm sure there's bits that have been cut out because I know what I read and I know they wouldn't be on there.
Yeah, it's But Iran. I suppose we'd better have a quick one on that, hadn't we? It's changing from hour to hour. I mean, the couple of rockets that they allegedly, I'm going to say, chucked at the old Chagos Islands. But we know nobody, and I mean nobody from either side, can be trusted with their reports. It's both sides, propaganda, narratives, false reports. But you know what I'm like for looking at things from weird angles and shit, especially if there's a conspiracy theory brewing.
That's why he likes me. I look good from a weird angle.
But was it Iran just trying to prove we can reach further than you think? Creating fear from a terrorist. I mean, that is straight from the terrorist textbook. You don't need to kill anybody to be a terrorist. Just creating fear is classed as being a terrorist, believe it or not. But others say the 2 rockets were fired. One was brought down just after launch. This would be coming from, I'll call them the Allies side. Not that they are. One was brought down. Look how good our defences we are. Well, yeah. One was shot down allegedly. But the other one, they ain't got a fucking clue. They lost it. They ain't got a clue where it went. So, who's to say that both sides aren't lying? Yeah, exactly, Graham. Exactly, mate. Well, it's not in particularly that country. It's the ideology that country's been ruled under. That's what's got into this country, not just Iranians. And again, there are good Iranians. A lot of them that came here originally came here to get away from what was going on there. They didn't want that oppression. And if you look back towards the 70s, Iran, Tehran, places like that, you'd think you were in Paris. There was beautiful women walking around with stylish modern clothes on. Now they're all walking around looking like a closed fucking black pub umbrella, aren't they, with a slot in? But yeah, both sides are more than capable of lying, and they've been proved to have done it in the past. Yeah, and that is the problem, Graham. And I've said this and looked at it this way for a long time. It's not essentially all Muslims are bad. It's those that have been radicalized by an ideology surrounding it. As I say, I know good Muslims. I've never come across a bad one in person because I've never been arrested. So there you go. But I've always said the problem is not a religion, it's an ideology. Although a lot of people say, fair enough, that Islam isn't a religion. But
not a recognised religion.
Not a recognised one, yeah, to put it right.
Is a better way of putting it. Because they'll call it a religion. It's their religion.
But, the fear factor now, and, could they reach the UK? If they had an ICBM, they could hit virtually anywhere, a long-range ICBM.
Into something ballistic missile.
And this is what an intercontinental ballistic missile, an intercontinental one, has got longer range than just a ballistic one.
Yeah, I couldn't quite figure the letters out, sorry.
And they're the ones that could have possibly fitted with a nuclear device, shall we say. And this is why Trump went in. They don't want them to have that sort of shit. Well, personally, I don't want terrorists to have any sort of fucking weapons. But yeah, exactly, great. It's not specific to any particular race. Anybody can become radicalized, no matter what your color or race. And as I said earlier in the stream, we've seen it. We've seen these white people, you know, that have been radicalized. But it has exposed and how messed up our own defenses are, you know. Yeah, exactly, Baron. I mean, you know, that's why I always call them father, brother, uncle. But, you know, we've depleted our own defenses. But, you know, basically, we've given loads of shit and money to the Ukraine. And now this dickhead wants to get involved in this. We've got nothing to protect us, you know. And how the fuck they're going to stop any missiles when they can't stop rubber boats? Yeah, I mean, again, this one annoys me because people are akin now what's going on to the Cold War. No, it's nothing like the Cold War. The Cold War was two lunatics with their hands on the button, their fingers on the trigger. And at any point, that could have gone seriously fucking pear-shaped. But they've had to consider, and they probably did consider even back then, if one of them actually pressed that button, then it's not just curtains for them, it would have been curtains for the rest of us. Because the amount of shit they'd have thrown at each other would have destroyed this planet. It wouldn't have just destroyed countries. It would have destroyed this planet for many, many years. But, you know, there was no invading this, close sort of throwing stuff like they're doing now. It was literally a standoff. So it was, the Cold War was nothing like this. And I don't know why people use the analogy, to be honest. Yeah. But I think this is going to go beyond fighting terrorism now, to be honest. You've literally got everybody throwing fucking rockets and drones at everybody, haven't you? Oh. Sorry about that, guys.
Thank you. You're so nice to her.
Oh, I am. You know, it's a human function. It's a bodily function.
I didn't say it wasn't. I just said thank you.
Yeah, that's how polite she is. She even thanks me for a fart. Yeah, I mean, no, yeah, I said I'd say a bit on immigration before we just start catching up and shit. I mean, we've got protests everywhere now, the hotels and what have you. And, you know, everybody knows now, it's common knowledge what's happening, what these people are doing that are in these bloody hotels. And nothing is being done. I hear that all the way here. Yeah. People ignored the fact what was happening when they were in the big hotels or initially in a couple of camps. And it's the same as always. Nobody gives a fuck until it directly affects them. Now, yes, it's rising against the immigrants, and That is the reason why. They're pushing them into communities. They're pushing them into towns and villages. And people are getting affected by what they're doing. So now they're starting to stand up. When it was happening to somebody else, a lot of them couldn't be bothered. But now it's happening to them. They're standing up. How big this one's going to be in May, I don't know in London. Apparently it's billed as being absolutely massive. And I do believe the police will try and stop it. But it's things going to be starting to change on the immigration front. Now they wanted to pay the French, or Mahood wanted to pay the French another £500 million. On top of what have they already paid them? 150 million? No, it's more than that. It's got to be more than that. They've had 2 or 3 payments of over 500 million to stop the boats. And they haven't been doing it. We've seen that. They're still coming. But things are starting to change. Whether it's for the good or the bad, I don't know. But the CEO of Border Force quit. He's done. He's had enough of it. He's off. Whether it was forced or not, I don't know. But now, Mahood, yes, that little Oompa Loompa, she's got a load of stuff she wants to put in place. And she's literally told Starmer, apparently, he either backs her with it or she's going to fuck off. Yeah, he can sack her or go with her. I wonder how he's going to react to that. He's been talking about a cabinet shuffle. But that's the usual Labour way of dealing with unruly MPs, isn't it? But they couldn't do it when the Labour whips were blocking the corridors for a vote the other day. They just got a bollocking, that's all. Completely against parliamentary rules. Little telling off from Mr. Speaker. Will this change things? No, because I think Starmer will just replace the dozy bint with somebody who's just as bad. You know, we're giving them money, hand over fist, and as Farage said, they keep saying they're smashing the smuggling gangs. Yeah, they could be connected to the grooming gangs, I suppose. But yeah, they've done nothing. And Farage has told them that. And he got ignored. Starmer and Labour just sat there heckling and laughing. So he walked out of the House. Fair dues. I would have as well. If you're going to keep asking questions and you're not getting answers, there's no fucking point in being there.
Kimmy seems to like pointing out that it's a waste of time asking a question because you don't get an answer. Yeah, but you don't do anything about it.
The thing is, it's not going to get any better. In fact, it's going to get a whole lot worse. Because don't forget now in the Middle East, there's going to be another batch of millions and millions wanting to come here because of the war going on there. And as with the other lot that are already here, you can guarantee there'll be infiltrators in amongst them. But it seems they've got a new profession now, doesn't it? These ones, they deport them, they give them a little bit of money to get them going. We've had several come back after being paid to go. And now we've had, I think it was 4 more that have been back more than twice. So, is it a profession? You get paid to go, you come back,
It's the latest job opportunity.
get paid again to go back again. Yeah, Moo, we can nick Corporal Jones, but what we've actually got is Pike.
Probably more like Mannering.
Yeah. Don't panic.
I was going to say something then and it's gone.
It's going to be never ending until they actually physically do something about stopping them. It ain't going to stop. They will always find a way of getting here. I mean, they caught two trying to paddle across in a fucking inflatable canoe not so long back. Yeah. Talk about being dangerous for the big rubber boats. Well, apparently the French did rescue some the other day. I think it was only because they were still close inshore and their engine packed up and they were drifting. Do you know what, Jen? I'm leaning more and more that way because with the way they're going, they're still trying to figure out a way and putting things out there where they could try and cancel the May elections and the next general election. And I believe that is their ultimate goal. Cancel the elections. They stay in power and they keep doing what we're doing, what they're doing. And I believe unless they're actually physically pulled down, nobody's going to get rid of them. I mean, anybody on any platform has heard the rumblings that it's getting closer and closer. I believe it is. I really do believe it is, with the amount of people that's starting to wake up over everything now.
They still like to join in all these silly chanting, don't they?
Yeah. But there's still, the sheep are still out there. And it seems to be the young ones. I mean, you look at the age of these ones that are following the narrative and getting this jab thing against meningitis. Well, the thing is, you don't have to have it to get rid of meningitis. You can get rid of it just with antibiotics if you catch it early enough. And if they've already got it, well, what's the point of having it,
The jab.
Yep. Yes, Jenny, there are several things that he's put in place or they put in place that they've said are 10-year projects. And that's why I've always said when he says that, well, you ain't going to last 10 years, mate. It's not just the freebies, Moo. I mean, there's plenty of them living rough that don't get any freebies because they don't want the authorities to know where they are. And they seem to be surviving on thieving, robbing, shoplifting. Don't forget there's well over 150,000, I think it is, that are in the country that nobody knows where they are. So they're either living rough or being put up by criminal gangs, like the ones that sell the phones from and shit. We'll give you a place to kip. You go out and steal phones for us. We'll put a little bit of money in your pocket. And that's how they're surviving. But the other thing is who's buying all these phones? I know a lot of them are sent abroad. They've found fucking containers full of them. So it's obviously organised.
You can get some good deals on back market.
Oh, yeah. But there again, if they haven't wiped a nicked phone properly before they sell it, somebody gets pulled up with it And there could be all sorts on there that can incriminate and that it was nothing to do with them, you know. People don't think of that. You know, they think they're going to be able to keep them under control by giving them the freebies and stuff. Well, it ain't working, is it? You know, there was hotel trashed, was it last week, where two opposing tribes or whatever in the fucking hotel decided they were going to kick off with each other, and they absolutely decimated the inside of the hotel. You know, we've seen the state of the hotels. There's videos where people have got in and videoed them. You know, they think nothing of getting out of bed, shitting on the floor by the side of the bed and getting back into bed. You know, the cleaners were saying the beds are riddled with lice. There's cockroaches everywhere because they just throw food around everywhere. You know, it's... And eventually, given enough years, that's what the whole fucking country would look like the way it's going. I mean, the rubbish on the streets, they are, they are, if they're here professing to look for a better life, they're creating a worse one that they run away from. You know, it's, and as I say, you got two parties saying they deport them all. Mass deportation ain't gonna happen. It's, you know, logistically that's impossible.
It's the best case scenario, but unlikely.
I know what you do.
What?
You get them all together. You march them down to the East Coast. You stop the Eurotunnel running trains for a week or a month, and you set the fuckers off walking through the tunnel. There you go. Fuck off back
I'd
to
give
Europe.
them a helping hand and stick them on a train.
Yeah, keep the useful ones. I mean, we've got the problem now with the NHS. That fucking idiot Pretty Boy Street in today. Oh, we've got less complaints about the NHS than we've had since 98 or something. No, bullshit. There's more and more solicitors coming up and doing just medical issues. Yeah, exactly, Graham. But I'd want a big friend. But they don't seem to be taking a lot of notice, even though it's been exposed in investigations and documentaries. They're picking up the odd one or two when they fuck up. But half these DEI hires, oh yeah, they've got all their paperwork, look, documentation. Yeah, they've got all their certificates and their learning. And it turns out that it's big business in these third world countries to issue false documents to get in work with the NHS. I mean, there was one the other day, professed to be a doctor or something, and he didn't even know basic medical knowledge. I mean, the report said he couldn't even identify in which part of the body the intestines were. Yet he was working as a fucking doctor. Yeah. And it was only one of the staff noticed when he couldn't calculate the blood pressures and shit. All right, and Graham, I know you only drop in, mate. It's nice to see you. You're always welcome. You know that, buddy. Keep it straight. And if you can, keep it moist. But yeah, I mean, he reckons this big upheaval is working with the NHS. They're not going to pay any of the managers and top management any bonuses, but what they will do is pay them bonus on production. Well, what are they actually producing?
Letters.
Letters, yeah. a mess.
How many letters did you get the other day? Because they'd decided to change your appointment by about an hour.
I had 3 letters and 2 phone calls to inform me that they'd changed a phone call appointment, of all things, by an hour. Now, when you book a phone appointment, they always tell you it could be within any hour around the time given when the doctor's free. You off as well, Karen? All right, sweetheart. Well, to be honest, the way I'm feeling, I probably won't be keeping going for the full 2 hours anyway. That's why I'm sat back here now. My head's getting heavy and my neck's aching. And as you can hear, my chest isn't right. But, yeah, I mean, what he's doing and what he's saying is not going to fix the NHS. Far from it. As I've said now, the old NHS is long gone because people don't see it as a vocation anymore. And those that did are the ones that are fucking off. People are just seeing it as another job. You know, and when the nurses were saying, oh, I could quit and earn more going and stacking shelves in Tesco's. Without the hassle, without the long hours, more time with the family and the kids. You know, if that's how people think that are working for you, then there's something seriously wrong there, isn't there? I mean, when I was running the building sites many years ago, if any bonus came my way, which it did regular, being the site manager, I used to split. Yeah, I used to take a cut, but I used to split that up amongst the lads that were actually doing the job. They're the ones that have earned that bonus, not me. And they used to give me respect for that. You know, they never used to fuck me about. They'd not come up with silly excuses not to turn up for work. And I used to make sure they got the bonuses as much as I did. Yeah, the people don't see that nowadays. You know, water boards, electricity suppliers. It's not any workers or anybody like that are making big money. It's the big people at the top and the shareholders. Yeah, totally ignoring the people that are earning their money. Well, maybe if they took a little bit less and gave a little bit more to the workers and sorted out the fucking job properly so they could do it and have clean water and cheap electricity and shit, they'd find the workers would be more amenable. If they're asked to do something a bit over the top, they'd quite more willing to go and do it because they're being looked after. But nowadays, people will say, no, you pay me basic wage, you're getting basic labour. You know, you want something done, you have to tell me exactly how you do it, where you want it done, and I'll do it at my speed.
Correct.
And I don't blame them. I do not blame them. Not for minimum wage. Some of the jobs that are out there on minimum wage, no fucking chance. And Starmer keeps on about, we're going to fund all these new apprenticeships. Why? There's no fucking jobs to even put qualified people in. Yeah, we've got hundreds and thousands of doctors and medical staff that have applied for jobs, but they don't get given them. Unfortunately, this is the state of the UK today. Never thought I'd see it, but here we are living it. You can't exactly go around saying you're living the dream anymore, can you? Well, unless you're living in a fucking hotel, I suppose. Yeah. You can say it if you're living in a hotel and being paid for it. All right, what have we got here? Anything? But I will cut that short tonight, guys, as you can obviously hear. My throat is starting to get a little bit worse, so I'm going to stop the smoking, sit down, take some of my meds, and probably have an early night. I've had a couple of bad nights and getting up early this morning to let the counselling didn't fucking help. But there you go. But thank you very much, guys. All of you that have joined in tonight just to hear me rattle on. I'm not doing any videos at the moment for the same reason. I just don't feel up to it most of the time. But pardon me. 1 30-second clip that I filmed through the gap in the window, sat here, has apparently in a few hours is over 500 views on Facebook. I wish I could get that per video on YouTube. But anyway, guys, yeah, I'm going to call it a night. Hopefully, we've got so much going on with the council. I do want to get back into a condition where I can keep going for a couple of hours and maybe open the panel or something. But at the moment, it's just hard to concentrate. But we will be here next week. Whether we'll have any updates from the council or not, I don't know. But we will certainly have some updates on the corruption and the shit that this government is causing us. And we're into a new month, so people are going to be paying more for things. We'll see how that pans out, shall we? But anyway, guys, thank you very much. And with that, it's a good night. Trouble getting out the G. Good night from me.
And good night from me.
And as always, stay safe, stay strong. Even though it seems impossible, we can still be free. But we need to work at it. Good night, guys.
Take care all.